The Algonquian Cree called them Assiniwatsi. The French called them Montagne de Roche. In English, we know them as the Rocky Mountains. And unless you've been here, you've never seen anything like them. Next door to Banff National Park, Canmore, Alberta sets the scene for the third installment of the Canadian Disc Golf Tour. Since the turn of the century, the Big Bear Classic has been a can't-miss event for everyone in Western Canada. To experience the flight of a disc on the shoulder of our tallest mountain range is unforgettable. To conquer and outlast seasoned professionals and young upstarts alike is a badge of honor only the lucky few will experience. To win here is to announce to the world your proficiency, dedication, and resilience. The mountains don't play favorites, and the wildlife is truly wild. There's a fine line between birdie and disaster. Which side of this continental divide will you fall on? Do you have what it takes to reach the summit of Canada's most awe-inspiring course? Or will you roll away into obscurity? Welcome to the 23rd annual Big Bear Classic. Miss it at your own peril. What's up, disc golf fans? That's right, it's the third stop on the Canadian Disc Golf Tour, the 2023 Big Bear Classic, brought to you by Disc Golf Park Canada. You're watching Parked Pro. My name is Matt, and joining me in the booth today is none other than Dr. Jeremy Gauthier. What's up, Jeremy?
Not much, Matt. How you doing, man?
I'm so excited to watch this tournament. This was a banger. This coverage is sponsored by PDGA Canada. PDGA reinvests all your player fees as a Canadian back into Canada, supporting tournaments like this, supporting coverage like this, supporting courses, you name it. Also brought to you by Disc Golf Park Canada. You're going to see their handiwork out at this course all weekend. And also by the patrons of Parked Pro. For all of you guys, thank you so much for making this coverage possible. Jeremy, who do we have on the card today?
Well, we got a pretty fun card. First up is Postma from Calgary, Alberta. Always making sure he washes his hands before he starts a round. Great play. Next up, we've got Harrouche, another Calgarian coming out to play. I've played with him before. Smooth thrower, good putter.
Good power on the guy, too. And he was the winner of the MA1 division last year, so moving up into MPO.
Oh, that's sweet. And
Who's this guy?
Who is this guy? Oh, you can't take me anywhere.
Jeremy Gauthier doesn't like talking about himself. He is a backhand power and accuracy machine, and the putting is getting better all the time. You are a danger out on the course, Jeremy.
And it never stops. And then finally, TK Thomas Kuhn. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Last year's winner. Kind of out of nowhere. That was sort of his big coming out party last year.
I remember that, seeing his name out and going, ooh, okay. Can't wait to play with this guy. This will be kind of fun.
Yeah. All right. So this is round one. This is hole one. Hole one starts off. It's a challenging hole one here. 340 feet, big dog leg left. It sort of demands a very specific kind of hyzer shot for a right-hand backhand player, doesn't it?
Very much. Throw it right up in the air and just pray it hits the basket. It kind of gets lost up in the foliage, and then if it's lucky, that's great. If not, you're on the right-hand side into the gully, or you end up early in those thick trees. Now, they've done a great job of clearing a lot of the forestry out, so you can get out a lot easier, but it's still danger. You know, it's still not an easy pitch out.
Yeah, and you really have to push all the way to the back and then hook hard to the left. So you can easily hook early into the left, which is sort of what Coda did there, kick off the tree on the right. You can also push it way deep into the creek that runs across the hole, and you can find some trouble deep as well. So it really demands a very specific shot.
It's a fantastic way to start the round off. Definitely. Lots of what we call secret lines. You know, where it just, all of a sudden, it's out in the middle of the fairway, and you go, how did that get there? It's a secret line.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody ever tells me secrets. Looks like you're throwing a Royal Rage on this one.
Yep. Royal Rage. Love the plastic. It's that vapor burst or whatever it is. That kind of plastic. Very nice.
That was really good. That was a great shape. You still skipped a little bit straight, a little bit long, but that's going to work out for you.
Yeah. And this is what you're looking for. Nicking a few trees, but coming around. Oh, it hit that last tree. Yeah, you kind of want to be in just that little bit of an opening, especially for the first round of the course. For us, it was such a beautiful morning. Oh, so nice. I think we teed off at, 7 something? Great way to start the day.
Yeah, you can tell by the lighting it is a nice, fresh mountain morning out there.
Oh, that's a nice out by Coda, I believe.
Yeah. And here you are imparting some professional wisdom to Zach Harrouche.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, see that? That's the tee pad of 18. Some people like to tee off on 18 from that tee pad.
You know, the kids these days don't appreciate the knowledge from the elders.
Endless knowledge here.
Yeah.
Zach with a great out from there. He actually has a really nice scramble game.
Yeah, 100%. And he's got a good amount of power, too, behind him.
You ready for some more smooth? Oh, look at that smooth.
Tommy, too smooth, Kuhn.
Left it a little short, but he's a good putter. He'll clean that up, hopefully.
Look, I don't want to keep harping on his ultimate background, but that, to me, you could have put him on an ultimate field there. It would have been the same throw, probably.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good out. That was a bit of a half bid for you.
Yep. 8 3/4 bid, if you want to make a Harry Potter reference.
Always. Oh, Coda just off the cage. Thomas is going to clean up. That's good par. Par's not leaving you behind on this hole. Birdies are a result of very good shots on this hole, and bogeys are aplenty. So,
yep.
Walking away with a par, it's an okay way to start.
Coda cleaning up. Oh, I thought he bounced back a little further between those trees. That was a good one.
A nice easy tapping.
Great way.
Good way to start your day.
Oh, get up in the morning, play hole 1.
Have a cup of Tim's.
Hashtag
not a sponsor. Except for you, maybe.
Except me. I can't believe you put that on there.
What are we looking at for hole 2?
Hole 2, I love this hole. If you look on the left-hand side, you've got a couple little sucker gaps, and then you have an impossible, really giant spike hyzer, which never works. But if you make it through these trees, then you can settle down, let the disc roll down towards the basket. I've seen a couple people hit cage. Usually they filter off to the right or to the left, way on the left-hand side. So the majority of people have usually about a 30-footer, I think, for birdie. And then the others are punished just by an early tree kick, and it lands and you're scrambling for a par. I absolutely love the elevation in this course.
Yeah, this is one of the holes that you think of when you think about the Canmore Nordic Center course for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you throwing here? This is looks like a gator, right?
Yeah, flat top gator from the BC Open, my very first BC Open. Shout out to the BC Open from Park Pro coming.
Yeah. We're going to have that coverage coming out for you in a few weeks as well.
Yeah.
This feels like a real Thomas Kuhn kind of hole. He's got touch for days. Well,
you know what? He touched the tree. So, you could always say he's got touch there.
Commentary curse. My bad. Sorry, Thomas. Coda's played here a bunch, so he should know his way around this hole. Hey. Looks like he found the deep gap.
He did. Hey, speaking of which, did you guys give anybody the podcast bump before doing this tournament?
No, but you know what? We should have.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that for next time. I mean, Thomas Kuhn is a channel favorite. You're a channel favorite. So, and I always support the old guys. So
shout out to the old guys. Look at this roll.
That's how you do it.
Oh, man. Oh, I like that. It looked like it just rolled forever. I thought it was going to actually roll the other way.
This course has nasty rollaways in your benefit sometimes. Usually not, though. But this is one of the few holes where a nasty rollaway puts you under the basket.
Kind of like what happened to Zach there. It looked like it rolled backwards towards those logs deeper into the bush.
Yeah, that wasn't ideal. You're hoping this is going to sit down. Yeah, 20 feet.
I split the uprights. I wasn't actually aiming at the basket. I was aiming at the 2 trees behind it.
A field goal is worth 3. Par is really worth nothing if you think about it.
Someone told me they'd take 2 strokes off my score if I made that shot. And, well, apparently someone lied to me, so that was not very good.
Well, we'll check the scores after, but yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
Zach with a nice bid. Nice try. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the other thing about the Canmore course. You got to watch your feet when you're even walking or throwing. It can be quite treacherous. A few rolled ankles, a few slips here and there.
Yeah, we'll see in a few holes, but some of these hills have loose rocks all around them, and you're really making use of your PDGA rule set, clearing out a space for yourself if you have enough time. Grid cleanups by you and Thomas there.
Yeah, keeping it nice and clean for the first two.
Zach had a bit of a harder time on this hole. Coda's got a pretty relatively easy tap in here for par. Not too much damage on the first couple of holes. Hopefully the camera jitters are going away for everybody. And we move on to hole 3. Hole 3 is a beautiful shot.
It is so nice. And if you look onto the left-hand side, what I love about this course also is that they've got mountain bike trails surrounding it. So you can see, and they're always building new things. That was a new feature that I saw from previous years. So it's always kind of fun taking a breather. Anyway,
yeah.
Long story short, hole 3, just 291 feet. You just want to throw it nice and straight and let it fade gently to the right-hand side. But watch out behind the basket, because then you've got some thick trees, and they get thicker the more you carry off into the bush. So kind of tricky.
Yeah, that's a theme on this course too. And this is also at elevation, at significantly higher elevation than most people are used to playing in and around, well, I would say most of Canada, since it's in the Rocky Mountains. So the kind of putter or mid that you'd be throwing, oh, this is a great looking shot.
Oh,
that'd be Thomas.
Smooth. So smooth.
The kind of putter or mid that you want to be throwing on this hole at your home course is going to fade out a little bit earlier. For those of you who don't know, the higher the elevation, the more stable your discs play. So for a right-hand backhand player, it's going to fade out to the left a little bit sooner in its flight, and it won't turn over as much to the right. So if you've got a disc dialed for this sort of shot at your home course, you might have a unfortunate surprise that it's not the perfect disc for this hole anymore.
Yeah. Tough break by Coda hitting that early tree. That is what you want to avoid as much as possible, because you got a bunch of trees to fight through, or it's just a chip out onto the fairway. It's very tempting. I don't know if you felt the same, Matt, but if you end up early in the trees, the goal is you want to try to throw a roller or a really weird shot to sort of circumnavigate everything instead of just pitching out to the fairway. And if you can hit the shot, which I think Coda made...
Looks like he just about did it.
Actually quite a nice out from there. But if you don't, you hit another tree and you bounce even deeper. Oh, man.
Look at this camera.
That's a Hallmark card right there. oh, man.
And if you want a Hallmark card of Jeremy Gauthier's face, you can sign up to be a patron at Park Pro. We'll get around to it one day.
One day being the important part.
Yeah.
Zach with a bid for...
he
didn't like it right off the bat.
His hand. I like the concentration. He looked like he was ready. Just maybe a little bit of adrenaline.
Yeah, tough putting up from that slope or from that ledge up there, because again, if you airball it, you are going down that slope. Nice putt by Coda.
Yeah, that's a great save. That forehand up shot followed by a nice putt. I think Coda's starting to right the ship on his round. Thomas gets the first birdie on the day.
God, yeah, he hit that really nice shot.
Yeah, he really smoothed that one out there. Comebacker for Zach.
Yep.
In the bottom of the basket.
Not surprising.
Yeah, very good young player. And Jeremy puts it in the basket for a par.
Doing my thing.
Yeah.
Staying it even. Keeping the ship pointed towards the horizon.
That's sort of I think of those 3 holes as the prologue to the round, and sort of gives you a taste of some downhill, some tunnel shots, and hole 1 is kind of a tough, weird one. And then you really settle into the meat of the course here, and some longer holes, some tougher holes. Let's see how the round's going for everybody out there. Kyle Wiens from Saskatchewan, Noah Higgins, and Scott Biker are all tied at -3 through a various number of holes there. Ben Loggins and Scott Jameson out of Toronto area, I believe, are 2 down. And then we got the Kuhn brothers both at 1 down. Logan Amy, Brandon Redekop, and Matt Picagnan. All good players at 1 down. Anything under par is usually pretty good here.
After the first 3 holes, absolutely.
Yeah, but you are going to want to rack them up through the round. 5, 6 down, 7 down, 8 down are absolutely attainable. So.
Yep.
All right, hole 4. Another semi-signature hole out here.
I'm going to just keep saying I love this hole because it's just so good. You're just throwing straight uphill, and then the approach to the green is the toughest one because there's rollaways aplenty. Even though they put some logs at the bottom and there's some roots sticking up, if you're putting from below the basket and you happen to hit the band or the cage, you are holding your breath to make sure that your disc settles down, because if it doesn't, you're rolling at least 30 or 40 feet and you're making that same putt or worse.
Yeah.
Thomas showing exactly how to split that gap up the middle.
Yeah, straight up the hill with something more understable than you think, just to keep it going straight up the hill. It's okay to bail out to the left, and that's pretty common to get up the hill and on the hillside on your left. But ideally, you're on that road and you got stable footing underneath you.
Yeah, I'm taking a bit more of a common one. You want to just put a bit of an anhyzer around the left-hand side, but you got to watch out because especially at elevation and you're throwing uphill, that disc bails out to the left pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, Coda's got it turned over a little too much. Is he going to get all the way? Oh, my goodness.
Look at that power. That's two going through the gap.
I wouldn't recommend that line specifically, but, Coda's played here a bunch. Maybe he knows where those trees are.
I remember seeing this thinking, wow, two of those guys went for the gap? Okay, all right.
I'd be surprised if they were going for it.
Well, you know what?
Oh, maybe it is the gap. Zach's going for it.
Hits the right
and he
side
gets through
gap
as well.
And that's even better.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I was pretty astonished when I saw that.
Yeah. That's a very smart layup. You had nothing to do with the basket on that one. You weren't trying to throw that one in.
Last year, hit the cage, ding, 50 foot, back up a hill again, grumble, 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 finish the hole of the bogey.
Yeah. It looks like Zach was trying to do the same thing here. Just get up on the safe side of the basket.
Yeah.
See how brave Thomas gets. Oh, boy.
Yeah, breaths were held at that point.
Yeah. I'm going with the forehand up here instead of the jump putt approach from Coda. I think he was running that one.
He was running it. I think he was running that tree behind it as well.
Yeah.
Wow, great putt.
Yeah. The camera never really does it justice, but you can see how people are laboring to get up that hill. This is a very steep hill that we're on.
If you end at this hole, I think you're pretty far away from your car. So you're climbing this big hill, and then you're climbing a little bit more up to the main area, and then you're climbing more to get up to your car. It's a hike all the way. Yeah,
the shotgun starts here are always you're always like checking your scores and seeing where you're going to be starting, because you don't want to be starting on the opposite side of the course if you're playing, especially if you're playing 2 rounds in a day.
Yeah, pretty typical par frame for this hole for the group. Every once in a while you see a couple of birdies here and there, but pars are good to walk away from this hole.
Look at this beautiful slow motion. Got to see the PDGA banner in the background. Thanks again to the PDGA for making this stuff happen. And we're moving on to another iconic hole. We got to stop saying that. We got to come up with a better way to say this. Hole 5 is a across the gully type of shot. It is a net downhill, but it sort of goes down the hill and then back up again. A lot of open space down the fairway, and then you want something that's going to hook to the right pretty hard. Or you can test your luck throwing like a putter or a mid just straight at it and hoping that you've got the right line through the trees here. The basket is on a bit of a ridge. So if you're short, you're putting uphill. And if you're long, you're putting uphill. And both ways are sort of death putts.
Yeah, so. You know how that old saying, I used to putt uphill both ways.
Yeah. My parents said that all the time about disc golf.
All the time, yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you usually throw in this, Matt?
I'm throwing like a Firebirdie type of disc usually. You can hammer something straight at it. You can flex it a little bit like Thomas is doing here. I like going really high because by the time the disc gets down to the ground, it's spiking, so less of a chance where you're skipping forward. You just want something, for me, you just want something that's going to crash down.
Yeah.
And this looks like a Wraith for you?
Throwing a Wraith.
That kind of idea.
Did not put enough juice on it this morning. I should have had another tea from Tim's.
Probably.
Might have just to get a little bit more caffeine in the old biceps.
Yeah, that was the right idea. This is definitely the right idea
really
from Coda.
Good, yeah. Hopefully he hits that little gap in there, and
that's
the danger. Hopefully he hit a tree on the way down. But it's nice. They put some wood chips around the hole, so at least that kind of slows things up on your approach.
Yeah.
Hey, who's that handsome guy with the camera behind Zach?
I couldn't tell you.
Because you know why? Because Zach got distracted and just threw his disc a little left than he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, and did he scare?
He scared Eric Lowe in there. Josh Smith. Man, look at that view. That's the other thing about this hole and the next hole is just views like crazy. You got a tight little gap there for your upshot. Really nicely done.
Thank you.
Nothing too challenging on that one. I mean, very challenging.
It's extremely challenging. Yeah. These trees got bigger and bigger, and the gaps got tighter and tighter.
As the hole went on.
Oh, then they moved around in my way. You should have seen it.
Yeah.
I like this approach. Again, that's the elevation.
And that's a real stable putter from him too. Like that thing that thing faded out pretty hard on the end there.
I'm trying to remember what he throws or what he used on that.
Blue.
Blue disc. Oh yeah, that's old Bluey.
Yeah.
Oh, nice run by Coda. Kuhn.
Uphill looks like circle's edge putt from Thomas. What a birdie.
I remember making that. That was a nice putt. Look at him just walking it in. Like, yeah, of course I got this.
Thomas
right,
gets birdies. Please. That's what TK does. This is not the easiest par putt here for Zach. Oh, boy.
That's the one.
Oh, boy. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's on a knife's edge because it's not that sharp, but, what's a duller version of a knife? A butter knife?
Yeah. A plastic knife.
This green is on a bit of a plastic knife's edge. You got an easy par clean up. Nicely done. Hitting an early tree, but getting it in there. That's also kind of the name of the game on this course. If you're off anywhere, scramble city and hope that you can get her in for par and move on to the next one.
Yeah, there are a lot of holes out there where just getting par, it feels like a bit of a disappointment, but then after you walk away from the hole, you kind of say, that wasn't the worst thing to happen to me on that last hole. So
yeah. Stepping over that tree trunk like it's Tyronn Lue and he's Allen Iverson, Basketball Reference.
Sure. Yeah, you keep telling him. All right. Just like that guy.
Hole 6.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
Just like Eugene Levy and Dan Castilla. I don't know. Anyway, hole 6. I love this hole again. Downhill. You want to throw a neutral putter, something kind of like hole 3, where it'll just start fading to the right. But again, watch out. Even though they've got wood chips all around the basket, it fades off pretty hard into the gully. The best thing you want to do is either land on the ridge up top or throw it at the basket and just kind of hope that it smacks into a tree.
Yeah, the fairway has no trees on it, which, hello, Captain Obvious, that's what a fairway is. But really, it is if you want to make sure that you're not getting a bogey, you just want to throw it right down the pipe there. But if you want to give it a scare for an ace or you want to land it real close to the basket, you're going to have to challenge those exact trees that you are challenging right now. Will it get in the basket?
Oh, yes.
A little too high.
Yeah.
Stays in the wood chips, though.
Yep.
Wow, that looked good.
It looked really good. Yeah. I patted myself on the back after that.
Yeah.
Coda choosing a nice, I like this play too.
Terrible skip though.
Yeah, I like the play going for the counter skip. It was a little bit higher. It would have worked out so nice. Well, I don't know. I don't know how discs fly, Matt. You know how they do it. But I like the idea because just in case it did bail out, it would skip a little to the left-hand side. I was just taken away from Zach's shot. It was a very unfortunate tree kick, but we'll watch him scramble.
Just didn't get quite the right downhill release. I always find throwing downhill, it might be the trickiest for me of the throws, and I often end up overcooking something if I'm throwing downhill. So
I always find things act a bit more understable, even if you have a stable disc, if it has enough time or if you initially, I don't know if that's just maybe the tendency to throw it harder, or you release it a bit more on Anheuser or whatever it is.
No, I think that would make sense. I'm not a physicist, but if you're throwing down, the gravity is going faster. Tough putt for Coda there.
Yeah, nice run though.
Yeah.
This would
be nice to get a birdie here.
I would love to get a birdie.
Don't quite have the putter going yet.
Figure I'd just scare the basket.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Nasty. That was pro side. Probably should have caught it, but, if you want to make your putt, put it in the middle of the basket.
Thanks, Eugene Levy, for that analogy. If you don't get that one, just keep quoting more basketball, Matt.
All right.
I hope people know who Eugene Levy is.
I know it's Canadian Disc Golf Tour. Of course they know who Eugene
Shout
Levy
out to Eugene Levy, future disc golfer.
Yeah.
Maybe on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, usually you're going to want to see at least a birdie on this hole. It's one of the ones where you just kind of chuck a putter straight down a hill. But, mistakes happen.
Pars are good. Yeah. Pars are very good. And even better for our top 10, Jesse Tamalti. What? Good boy, Jesse. Nice work.
One down, chasing Connor Michelson, Logan Amy, and Thomas Kuhn at -2. And then we got a slew of guys from Scott Biker and Sean Morrison making his way on the leaderboard. And in the lead, though, Scott Jameson out of Ontario visiting. I think it was his first time at this course. Good start for Scott.
That's embarrassing for the rest of us if this is his first time out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Hole 7, it's one of the few par 4s on the course. It is a big uphill shot around the corner to the right. Lefty's delight. You can also go forehand to be safe, and if you want max distance, you can power right hand and hyzer up the hill and have it curve all the way around the hill and flatten out on the fairway. It's a bit of a tougher shot because you're bringing in the left side of the fairway and maybe getting off track, but you can also bite off the most distance and give yourself an easier upshot to this basket that is on a mound.
Yeah, a mound, and as we progress up to the mound, there is also just jail on the left-hand side, a little bit of a gully. Common miss for your drives up in the right-hand side. You don't want to be up on that hill. It looks like you might have an upward look for the basket, but no, you are fighting. This is the other miss that you're looking for.
Yeah.
That I had a really nice roll back onto the fairway.
Yeah, you got a little lucky there.
Very fortunate, because if you're stuck up in the trees on the left because it bails out too early, again, you could be fighting just to get back on.
And Thomas's forehand was the textbook forehand on this hole. He placed it perfectly, right amount of power. Coda's hoping this has the right angle on it. And
that is
my
exactly
goodness.
what you want to put on.
Yeah.
The angle control that you need for that shot is just, it's so tough. And when you hit it, it's awesome. And if you don't, you're like, well, okay, maybe a couple of degrees more.
Yeah.
And then
you can hear the snap out of Zach's hand. He put a lot into that one, and
just crushing.
Even better.
Absolutely crushing.
Yeah. That's the benefit to that Anheuser. You do bite off a lot more distance.
You really do. Yeah. And here's the trouble with going early. These giant rocks at your feet. You're running uphill into this loose gravel.
Yeah.
And then you kind of want to be up probably about another 40 or 50 feet so you can get up into the grass, more grass than gravel where Thomas is. Gives you a nice little upshot, maybe about, 250, 300 feet?
Yeah, around that. He still didn't have great footing, and I think maybe it at least played with him in his head a little bit. Didn't quite get that one over enough to get it all the way to the basket.
And that's where Thomas ended up. He was lucky to escape the sort of the depths of that. It actually drops off a little bit into a little gully. So I think he ended up closer to the fairway than down in the gully. And hopefully that is the case. Look how close he is. That is ridiculous, Zach.
Looks like he's just throwing a putter at the green from there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been in that neck of the woods before.
Yeah.
All right. Big shot for your third here. You need to get up and down for par. You got your trusty Praxis. Putting it out on a hyzer.
Little floaty. On the side, a little bit of roll away.
Sort of at the edge of the wood chips. Going to be a tester.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see where Thomas got to. Oh, yeah, he's got room for a backhand.
Yeah. Nice run.
Yeah, really nicely done by Thomas.
Safely played. I don't know if he was actually running it or just laying up, but whatever it was, giving yourself just that save, perfect idea.
Yeah.
This is the scary part.
Oh, no.
And
birdie putt.
Stay out of the...
Oh, my God. Oh, it stays on the rock. And he's throwing from the boulder. You got to be kidding me,
points.
Coda.
That's got to be points. And he's running it again. Oh, man, I love playing with these guys. It was a lot of fun that morning.
Coda's a fun guy, and he's got confidence for days. So he's a fun guy to play with, a fun guy to watch. And what a birdie for Zach. Getting him on the board here. He had a tough first few holes, but that was just textbook the whole way. Perfect drive, perfect upshot, perfect putt.
Yeah, walking away, big smile on his face.
That's how you win MA1. And that is not how you win MA1.
Or anything, really.
Yeah. Sort of walking semi-embarrassed to the basket. That was a 20-footer, though.
I might have had a few nightmares.
Yeah.
After that one.
Coda, after the terrible roll away, still salvages a bogey. Not terrible. Thomas, pretty ho-hum par there.
Yep.
And we're going to move on to hole 8. Oh, look at this shot.
Wow, look at the control.
Yeah. Acrobatic, and still almost puts it in. Yeah, you can't be too disappointed about that, Coda.
No.
That was well done. What do we got for hole 8?
Hole 8, straight up the gut. Again, you got some early trees on the left and right, but generally nice and open. You want to aim for that gap right in the middle, of course. But if you get past that gap, the green is just in there. You can reach it if you can crush a drive. If not, most of your drives end up right about here at the bottom of the screen. But if you can get a really nice drive, you can tuck yourself into the edge of the circle. Common misses, if you look on the left-hand side once we start driving, I think there's a few of us that ended up on the left-hand side. Again, just from it bailing out early. You don't want to be on the right. because you're scrambling around some trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where you really cut yourself off for par or birdie. Over on the right. On the left, usually you got to scramble out. And there are some sort of sneaky gaps. Those bare pines. I don't know if those are lodge poles or what. Right in front of where Zach's disc went. You can sort of sneak through there on a right-handed backhand shot. So
yeah,
but 385 straight down the tunnel is a very challenging shot type.
Thomas needs to miss the left hand. Yeah, and that's usually where you end up. Oh, that's actually really nice. That got a nice forward skip.
What are you throwing on this one?
I think I am throwing a sheriff, which usually is a very understable. Oh, it is understable. There you go. I was a little bit worried that it wasn't going to that it was going to flip over again, because I think that's what happened on the last hole. Not going to complain with that shot.
That worked great. Maybe circle's edge, 35, 40 feet, something like that.
Oh, perfect.
Really
you know
nice
what?
shot.
It's not 20 feet away, so I should be able to make that one no problem.
Yeah.
And then Coda.
Oh,
man.
Just a bit of an early release.
Yeah.
Kind of see what he was going for there, but just got it out to the left a little bit too much. So
yeah, he does not look
testing
like
a
it.
scramble game here.
He doesn't look like it bothers him very much. Look at him just loft that in.
The scramble man, Coda.
Oh, man.
Well done.
Yeah. Zach.
I think he's going to give this a bit of a run. Oh, a little bit too much want on that one.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes if you're just outside of your jump putt range and you try to force it a little bit.
Tree got another notch on it.
Yeah. We'll get another chance, and that's a tough bogey to get when you can see the basket for birdie.
Yep. Thomas for bird. Oh.
I think he thought it was in. I thought it was in.
I think we all thought it was in.
Yeah.
These baskets make, I don't know if it's just the sound the baskets make or the sound and just the serene, quiet behind you.
Yeah.
When you hit them, it rattles in the ears a lot more than normal. But Disc Golf Park also makes some really nice baskets, by the way.
Yeah.
Not to dump on them at all.
No, I think they tune them with tuning forks. So if you hit the cage, it's like B flat, I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I think Matty Reardon was talking about that too. I think he was out here at 4 a.m. just making sure that they were all tuned up properly.
Yeah. He goes out there and twists some knobs. You loving that par life,
Missed that. Well, I was probably happy just because it was better than that bogey that I had in the hole before that.
Yeah. All right, hole 9, last hole for the front 9 here. This is a one of a couple of shots where it's you're going straight up the gap and then hooking hard again, sort of like hole 1. Also a very specific shot type here because you don't want to go left into the trees where bogey becomes very possible. The mistake here is to push it a little bit too straight, too long, because the right side of the fairway is just a little bit more open over there. But a lot of these guys should be expecting to make a 375-foot hyzer somewhat routinely and landing anywhere that you see on the screen there.
Yep. Yeah, you typically you want to push it far to the right if you want to throw something that'll hyzer out. Thomas
just gets inside it a little bit too early.
And those trees, those early trees, once you get stuck in there, you're challenged. You can have a sucker gap or a sucker roller up to the green.
Yeah.
Or pitch out and just go for the par.
Yeah.
And if you go anywhere further in there, you are just punished. It's a roller out to the green or to the fairway at best.
Yeah.
Coda.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's how you do it. He just followed the fairway the entire way. That's the advantage of experience out here.
Is that going a little higher? Is that going to make it around?
I don't mind this approach too. It's going to spike down. Oh,
what a great
really
shot.
nice shot by Zach.
Oh, he's picked it up.
Yeah.
Well, he picked it up on this hole anyway. The last one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
oh no.
So,
oh no.
I'm eyeing a roller.
Oh
which,
no, Jeremy. Not the putter, the forehand putter roller.
For you fans, if you ever have a chance to have a shot like that, pitch out to the fairway. Just do that and then try to get your putt for par. Do not try to make a hero shot through the forest. I did that my first Big Bear, and it worked perfectly, and you think you can replicate it, and it just doesn't work.
You've
and
been
then,
chasing that dragon ever since.
Now look what you're stuck with.
Oh,
Then you're stuck with that.
Just nubs out for the par.
Yep.
lessons learned. Get better every time you come out here.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, Coda.
Nice birdie. Look at him celebrating.
Heck yeah. He's making his way back to even par here. Great putt by Coda.
Thomas putting up his par.
A quiet 2 down on the front for Thomas.
Yeah. Sneaky.
Yeah.
2 down is a pretty respectful score. I know when we started this whole thing, you were mentioning that there are a lot of birdies out there.
Yeah.
But to link them together for the whole 18 is really tough.
Yeah. And Zach getting to +2. He's tied with you now at +2. He had a bit of a rougher start.
Oh man. Just
The views.
so nice.
All right, so the feature card is through 9 holes. Let's see how the rest of the field is doing here. Ben Loggins, regular favorite out here at the Big Bear Classic. He is at 5 down through 13 holes. Scott Biker is just behind him at 4 down. He's almost done his round. Then we've got Luke Morstad, Scott Jameson, Nate Donauer, all at 3 down chasing them. Thomas Brandon, Kyle Weens from Saskatchewan, Matt Picagnan, and Sean Morrison, all at 2 down. This is anybody's ball game here still, Jeremy.
Still a tight race. Yep. Time for these guys to go get some bagels and come back for the second round.
Yeah. When you go get yourself a bagel, you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to sign up for the Patreon, and we're going to see you on the back 9.